Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Best in Slot. Welcome back to our previews of Prehistoric Kingdom and the next big update, update 1.1, as well as a few other things along the way. One thing in particular, you'll see it and you'll see why I'm excited, but there's some really cool things popping up in today's video. But the main thing I'm going to be taking a look at, I should undo the hi actually because I'm about to put text there, is a preview of the upcoming Desert Biome. This is being added in the next major patch, version 1.1, and it's going to add this biome right here. So we actually have a little bit of information that we can talk about. This is based on the Jordan Desert. It does have a different name, however. In update 1.1, players will be able to build amongst the sands of a new locale, Harin, inspired by the Jordan Desert. This location provides a unique look not found anywhere else in Prehistoric Kingdom, offering endless horizons and towering cliffs. And we've got another image of it right here, and you can kind of see what they're going for there. This long, flat plain sort of areas. We've got some foliage which we'll dig into in just a moment. And then of course we've got these massive cliffs in the distance, and we've got a little bit more information about those as well, because you can see some of them are kind of in the playable area potentially, but for like an oasis or something like that, this is a really interesting location, very unique in terms of what the parks are going to end up looking like. We tried to build a sandy park at some point in the past. Sandy Park kind of sounds like a porn star. Right, so we've got a little bit of info. Alongside its sparse yet hardy vegetation, very common description for myself, two rocky outcrops stand tall within the playable area, a remnant of the past. These formations can be flattened, built on, or built around, so it does have, in a way that you would in, say, Jurassic World Evolution 2 or something. My window's very wide open, I apologise, it's flapping all over the place. You would have these big rocky outcrops right in the middle of the map. However, they've done the intelligent thing. So if you do have right here this big rocky outcrop, you can, if you want, to bulldoze. You can, if you want, just bulldoze the whole thing, and it's no longer a concern. So if you want to build around them, if you want to build on them, if you want to utilize them in your park builds and make it a bit more naturalistic, you can do that. If you want to kill them, you can do that too. And we do have a couple more new images to look at, showcasing this environment, how it's going to look in particular at sunset, I would say, with that sort of the dusty background and stuff like that, that really harsh shadowing, really evocative of this desert environment. We've got a feathered Dryasauruses moving along there, and our Camarasaurus, question mark, smiley face? Can't quite remember, but I think it's Dryo and Camara. Either way, looks fantastic in the atmosphere. The lighting is absolutely beautiful. Really excited to see that in game. And is this my favorite image? No, not quite yet. So we're going to talk about the foliage first for a little bit. Now you might be looking at this and thinking there's a lot of cactus, a lot of cacti, a lot of cactopodes, and some trees. But we actually have details on those in just a moment. Even the hottest conditions are not without plants. The desert biome uses a selection of flora from around the world, offering 9 new species of vegetation for 24 plants in total. And I love that they've done this. We've really got tons of information about this biome, more than we ever used to get in the past. We have a list, an actual picture list. It's the best words I've got for it. So we've got barrel cactus, we've got bloodwood, we've got date palm, we've got Joshua tree, absolute classic, organ pipe cactus, prickly pear cactus, saguaro cactus, I've probably butchered that one really bad, saxaul sax plant, and we've got, of course, the yucca, which is my favourite plant name in all of history. So yeah, really cool selection. It's everything you want. We've got like some palm trees, we've got some cacti, we've got slightly more, you need a little bit of, you know what I mean? Every now and again you need a little bit of foliage. You need some, you need this kind of thing over here. It's the wrong glare. You need this kind of thing down here just to give yourself you need bushiness is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you need a little bit of bushiness. And that's my favourite 2 images. So we've got some little previews here of the new dinosaurs, 2 of the new dinosaurs for now, living in a desert environment and what that might look like. So we've got our new Coelophysis here, sitting by the water's edge or walking down to have a little drink. They look fantastic, as the Coelophysis always does. I love the texturing and patterning on these guys. They really do suit this desert environment down to a T already. And you can already see how using these drier plants as like bushes and the trees and stuff, you can still get some foliage in there and make quite a nice looking habitat. However, the image is this one right here. Dilophosaurus coming in patch 1.1 along with the Coelophysis and a 3rd dinosaur we'll see later on. Looks absolutely spectacular. I don't know if we've seen this skin before, we may well have done, but it's usually the browner ones that have been featured. This one though, with that sort of spark of purple on the crest, contrasting with that sort of darker body, is really, really cool. Not only do we have that, and unless I'm totally crazy, which is always a distinct possibility, but I believe this is new. I don't recognize this? Question mark. It might have come in with the new patch, with the latest one we had, but I definitely don't recognize it. So it seems to suggest, although it isn't mentioned in this patch note, in this dev diary, we're getting some more desert ruin sort of themed building items as well. Things like this, I'm 99% sure are not currently in the game, so we can assume we're getting some more sort of temple-esque kind of building items if you want to build yourself a desert temple sort of thing, which would make sense in Jordan in particular. So yeah, really cool. I mean, the dialogue looks absolutely fantastic. Going to be my favourite dinosaur in the game right from the off, I'm pretty sure. The texture work, the model work, really excited to see some animations and sounds and stuff like that as well. Going to be very cool. Boop. The following animals and alt species will have desert added to their biome preferences in update 1.1. So this is taking dinosaurs that already exist in the game and throwing in the desert in their preferred biomes. That's literally what it just says, but somehow I've explained it yet again. Brachiosaurus, Camarasaurus with 3 different species, Dryosaurus, Protoceratops, Psittacosaurus, but only the Mongoliensis one. I believe there are other Psittacosauruses. Torvosaurus teneri. And then we've got a little preview of the texture work again. So we've got several, you know what, let's do the text on this one first. For the biomes terrain textures, players will be able to pick from 2 shades of sand, an earthy rock, and yellow sun bleached grass. The red sand is especially great for mimicking a rusty Australian environment. This one here. Or simply spicing up an area of the park. And we do like to get spicy. So we've got 2 shades of sand, this one and this one. We've got yellow sun bleached grass over here, and that's our earthy rock there. So a nice variety. Again, even though it's the same sort of environment, we've got a nice mix of colours and textures and stuff like that. Prehistoric Kingdom's texture blending system is still really impressive to me. I mean, you can see this here where you've got basically 3 different textures all together, and it just blends because of how it's done and how it kind of lays on top of each other. And I think it does register height maps. If you see here, for example, you can see that obviously this earthy rock is higher than the sand, because rock is higher than sand. Everybody knows that. That's why Anakin hates sand, because he hates the low ground. Made it work. So you can see how the sand has kind of filled in the sort of the lower reaches of the rock, and that's why the texture work in this game looks so good. And over here, where it's both sand and would be approximately the same, you can see it's blending in more together. So I mean, it's a fantastic system. A little bit more to go. Nice little preview there of our feathered Coelophysis in the more Australian sort of vibing habitat. And we got another little preview as well, because update 1.1 is not the next update as far as I know. I think it's coming later on in the year, but there is some stuff along the way. So yeah, so this is the next update, is achievements and animal info signs. So quite a small one, but I think we'll get that relatively soon, because the one after that, and this is what I'm most excited about, I'm just going to draw lots of arrows for this one, coming soon, Halloween scenery. I have wanted for so long for Planet Zoo to start integrating this kind of thing into doing holiday updates and little themed ideas around the holidays. It's very exciting for me. I'm absolutely building a Halloween themed mini park. Maybe when 1.1 comes out, we'll take the new dinosaurs, but either way, we might just do it for Halloween. Yeah, really, just, yeah, I don't know what to say. Super excited about that. Very curious to see what they're going to do, how they're going to have like a prehistoric take on Halloween decorations. You could have pumpkins with dinosaurs carved into them. You could have dinosaur ghosts, for example. You could have dinosaur witches, dinosaur skeletons, of course. And just regular Halloween decorations, pumpkins, ghosts, and witches. Yeah, super excited. I mean, you know what I'm like with Halloween. It's the best time of year, ladies and gentlemen. 1st of October, spooky season has begun. So you've got to assume this will happen in the next couple of weeks. Halloween scenery, probably the last 2 weeks of October, in time for Halloween. Probably not on, maybe on Halloween itself, but you'd hope maybe a week before so people can do stuff for Halloween. And then, so you'd assume post-October, but before the end of December, so probably sometime November or early December, we're going to get update 1.1, which is going to be the desert biome and all those new dinosaurs and stuff like that. And then, of course, the end of the year, the holiday scenery, again, very excited about that. I love that kind of thing. I want to build super stupidly themed parks, and we are going to go back now. I know we've been doing the Prehistoric Kingdom workshop stuff, and we're going to keep doing that. I've been slacking so much lately because it just takes so much time. But I'd like to build a regular park as well, and I want Halloween sections and Christmas sections and desert sections and kind of lean into all this kind of new stuff. So we are going to get back to our regular park building. Maybe we'll do a stream on Saturdays or something. But yeah, Christmas stuff at the end of the year. So again, you'd assume that's sort of mid to late December. So I think we can peg 1.1 at sort of late November, early December. It would be my guess. And that is it, other than, boop, one more preview. That is our Scelidosaurus, looking absolutely majestic, to say the least. If this is your first time seeing me on webcam, you will have noticed I can't not move my hands when I talk. It's because my last name sounds Italian. It's not Italian, but it sounds it, and that made me talk with my hands. Makes sense. Right? I'm going to give him a hat. It's always a top hat, though. Why is it always a top? Let's give him a different hat. What's a good hat? Maybe a fez? Fezzes are cool. There you go. Doesn't look like a fez, though, does it? But yeah, we're done. Thank you very much for joining me. I will see you lovely folks very, very soon. Throw me a like down below if you enjoyed the video. If you want to check this out for yourselves, although you don't need to, you've got all the information, but you could. I'm going to link the Prehistoric Kingdom website down below as well, if you don't want to hear me prattle on. And that's about it. Thank you very much for joining me. We will be back with some PK next week, I promise. Thanks for joining me. Cheers, much love. I said that 3 times now. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.